Florida is really hot right now, so that's probably just gonna be the story of my life for the next, I don't know, forever, the rest of my life, honestly. Good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a special inclusion loaf that I've actually never attempted to do before, and I just had this idea pop in my mind and I was like, this sounds like a good inclusion for my sourdough loaf. Sometimes they turn out good and sometimes they honestly just turn out like not good at all. It's either great or horrible. There's literally no in between with inclusions, I feel like. So I'll be interested to see how this inclusion turns out because it is a little interesting. Also, I am doing a couple of side quests while I film this video, so I'll just bring you guys along with it. I have some donuts and I accidentally just dropped my wire rack on top of these, but I have some sourdough donuts. And you can see I'm testing out these little smaller donuts in my regular bombolini, but yeah, I'm gonna be frying those right now because they are proofed and they're ready to go. So while I'm filming this video, I need to cook them, and I'm not mad about it. So yeah, so this morning I recorded a couple of things. Today is Tuesday. Normally I like to record on like Mondays or Tuesdays because it's my slower days. Obviously like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm baking, usually prepping for a market or for my porch pickups or something like that. So like Monday and Tuesday are my quiet days, then Saturdays and Sundays I tend to have classes and a bunch of other things going on. So I try to film as much as I can for you guys like in these 2 days. So I feel like I'm always juggling things. So today we are making a sourdough loaf with a cookie swirl, a brown butter chocolate chunk cookie swirl. I think I'm gonna make 2 loaves. So I honestly don't know how this is gonna turn out because I really don't know how the cookie dough is going to bake inside of the bread. You know, if it's going to bake properly. I'm sure it's gonna bake thoroughly because it bakes at a lower temperature normally. It should bake all the way through, but I'm honestly just really interested to see. I think one loaf I'm going to spread the cookie dough over top of the loaf before I shape it, and I'll show you guys all of that. And then the other loaf, I think I'm gonna put chunks of cookie dough down on the loaf while I'm shaping it. So we'll see how both of those turn out. I am going to be using my sourdough cookie recipe that is on my page, and I'll link it below too for you guys. I have a lot of free recipes. Most of my recipes aren't paid. The only ones that are paid are the ones that are in my grimoires, and my monthly grimoires are really, really fun, and they have a lot of interesting things in them. They're like witchy, cute little seasonal packets that you get. So it's much more than just a recipe. I've already browned my butter. I'm waiting for it to cool. I'll be using that to make the cookie dough. And I do also have a short on my cookies, and it kind of goes into like what's in the cookies, how do you make the cookies. So I'm not gonna go into that too much today, but I'm just going to be going into the loaf making and how I incorporate the cookie dough. And then tomorrow we'll be baking it and we'll see how it turns out. And like honestly, even if it turns out horrible, I'm still posting this because that is the sourdough way. Like a lot of times you'll try things and they just don't turn out. Don't get discouraged because that is just what happens when you're making sourdough. So I'm gonna fry these donuts and then I'm gonna mix the dough and then we're gonna get started. I have my active starter ready over here. She's been ready. She needs to be used. And yeah, I also recorded my coffee syrup recipe for the week, and this week is going to be a guava syrup, and the latte that I made for you guys is a cheese cold foam guava and cheese latte. Basically it is very good. If you love guava and cheese, you will absolutely love this latte. It's so good, so give it a try. I'm going to be posting the recipe in a short, and I'll be posting that sometime today. Pour the water in. Okay, so we're gonna double it. Normally it's 325, so doubling that, it's going to give us 650 grams. Nice, okay. 650 grams, and then I'm gonna do 200 grams of starter. Almost there. Okay, perfect. I'm just gonna give, okay, so I'm just gonna stir the starter. Oh my God. I don't really want to add anything to the base. I kind of want to keep the base the same. So we're gonna keep the base the same. We have a lot of variables going on with the cookie dough. So I'm just gonna mix this up. Okay, so our dough has rested for an hour. Oh, she's warm. I'm gonna do my first set of stretch and fold. It just makes it easier to deal with the dough. She is running a little warm, so we're at like 83 degrees. Florida is really hot right now, so that's probably just gonna be the story of my life for the next, I don't know, forever, the rest of my life, honestly. I'm gonna go ahead and get started mixing my cookie dough and then just prepping it so that it's cold when I do my shaping. Okay, I had to take that apron off. It was driving me up a wall, so. All right, I am using, normally I use a dark chocolate cookie bar, but when I order my delivery of my ingredients, sometimes they don't have the dark chocolate bar, so they give me this dark chocolate with chopped almonds, and I have a bunch of them sitting there that I haven't used. So I'm going to be using dark chocolate with almonds, which is like, whatever, it's fine. Basically the same thing. We're gonna attempt to cut this chocolate with this knife that is literally not for cutting chocolate at all. So it's not doing a bad job. So I prefer chopped chocolate in my cookies over over chocolate chips. It's just a personal preference. I think that it just tastes better in the cookie, and I like the way that it melts, and I like the way that it looks too, because it gives you like nice puddles of chocolate. Okay, so she's ready for her second set of stretch and fold. Okay, so our dough has proofed. She's ready to get shaped. I'm gonna pre-shape these. Oh my God, it's so heavy. Okay, so I'm downstairs in my baking area, and I have the two, oh my gosh, I have the two cookie dough loaves. This one is obviously way bigger because I didn't measure them out properly, apparently. This one is not. So the bigger one is the one that we, oh yeah, there's like there's like a huge, look at that, there's like a huge air bubble, and I'm assuming that's where I layered. I can feel the cookie dough. The cookie dough is like really hard. Okay, so I'm not gonna do a 5-minute score on these. I'm gonna pop this because it's bothering me. I'm just gonna push it in. All right, I'm just gonna do my normal score. Wow, that's interesting. 3, 4, 5. I never score this properly. And then, yeah, I'm not gonna do a 5-minute score, so I'm just gonna score right down the, oh my God. It feels crazy. Like, it feels so hard. Okay, so let's see, like, what is going on? I don't even know. The cookie dough is like really hard. Okay, I'm gonna open bake these. Oh gosh, okay. They dried out. Okay, I'm gonna put one on this side. Time. Lava rock. And stick those in there, and then I am going to spray. Made like little log shape cookie dough, and I'm gonna attempt to put these on top of the loaves and bake them. Okay, so I'm removing the steam. The cookie dough is actually already showing through, which is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and put this log on top of here. I don't know. I feel like I don't really have to do that. I'm not gonna do that for this one. I'm just gonna leave this one. Those are the two different ones right there. And I'm gonna do another 10 minutes and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so this cookie dough, oh my God, it's so heavy. I'm just gonna leave it in there for an additional, I don't know, 4 minutes. Okay, so I completely forgot to film me cutting the loaves for YouTube. I filmed it for TikTok, but not YouTube. But it doesn't matter because we have the final result. So this is the, girl, okay. Well, oh, goodbye. I've been manhandling these. This is the loaf that I spread the cookie dough onto. As you can see, the cookie dough is very raw, not cooked. The bread itself is pretty cooked, surprisingly, but the dough is not. This is also a really big loaf. This is the loaf that we dolloped the cookie dough in, and this one turned out pretty good. And the cookie on the top also browned and crisped very nicely. This is nice. I really like this one. I have a feeling though, because of the steam of the loaf, that the cookie itself is not going to obviously crisp up because it's very steamy inside of the loaf. So we're always gonna end up with like a soft cookie mixture, even if it's fully cooked. So I think next week I'm going to try and make minis because I have a feeling that the minis are going to cook through a lot better. And I just have a feeling that's gonna be really good loaf, mini sized. The larger ones are just like, not the vibe. And I also feel like my customers would really like the minis, and I would like the minis too. So I'm gonna do a mini loaf next week, and I'm gonna also try and do a couple different techniques that I have in mind, and we'll see how she turns out. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week.